Hello everyone, it's Sean. I'm back again for opening a few more Star Trek figures this time. It's highly appropriate because it is First Contact week. And since Jonathan Frakes, the actor who played Will Riker, directed that movie, I guess it's appropriate that I open the figures. Plus, he's the one, with the help of Geordi, who actually convinced Ephraim Cochrane to do the warp jump in the first place and not give up on the Phoenix. So we'll start with the first one. This is my very first Star Trek figure that I got in Christmas of 1993 before it was lost in a move. And you can see the back here that shows the whole lineup of the toys, the figures, and the info card and everything. Now I keep the whole card back. I have a whole card back box, as you can see down here, from Star Trek Masters of the Universe. There's even some Star Wars in there, plus the 2 Terminator figures. That was a couple weeks ago. So I will open up the first figure here carefully, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so using the cheese knife and the scissors, I managed to get the card back off. There you go. Now, you see, he does have a collectible card. They all did in the 90s. And his, careful now, his bag with the comm badge in it. There you go. Alright. Now I'm going to try. I don't know how it'll work. Can I get the sticker off after all these years? Or am I going to have to do the, cut the plastic out and put it on with tape? Oh, it appears to be coming off. Wouldn't that be something if it actually worked? Because this is a 30-year-old figure, I think. Where's that copyright date? Yes, there it is. You can see it. 1993. So this is a 30-year-old figure, and yet the sticker is coming off the plastic. Oh, spoke too soon. All right, do the cutting then. Well, I got the label off, but I am going to have to tape it down, so let me go find the tape. There we go. Got it on the card back now, so I'm just going to trim the edges off. All right, I'm back. Got the figure out of the plastic and everything. Actually managed to get his data pad into his little case here. But I'm going to actually pull it out because you can see all the tools in the case. His data pad, his engineering tool, phaser, his tricorder, and of course his stand. So I'm going to set him up on the stand, put all his accessories, other ones in the bag here, and we'll see how he looks against the card back. I just noticed something about the Riker figure, and I'm going to compare him to the other one I have. Here is the other Riker figure I have. He's wearing the Season 3 and Beyond uniform, but look, he has the gash in his leg, perhaps from the Shades of Grey creature that infected him. But look, you can see how this has a little part on that leg that's all black too. Interesting. You can see how this is brighter color, probably because he hasn't been out. So that's good. I'll keep this figure and compare it to the other one. Alright, set him up now. Alright, so there's the figure. There's his card back. And now we move on to the Thomas Riker figure and do the same thing. Here's the Thomas Riker figure. You can see how he doesn't have a name thing. You can see how he still has the rip in his shirt, so obviously he's just repainted from the older figure. But he is wearing at least the Season 7 uniform. You can see how his equipment is a different color. And you can see how the card back from 1994 is different because it shows some of the figures. So there's Thomas Riker, It shows Borg, Wesley Crusher, Data, and one-offs. All right. So I will open up the figure and we'll see what it looks like. Oh, you can see the difference between the 93 card back and the 94 card back. There's the 93. There's the 94. See, the ship is more detailed. Deflector dish is more detailed as well. But there's the idea. There's where I got the idea for the red and the blue in the deflector dish when it was clearly orange in the show. That's when I did my Star Wars comics, and they had a Galaxy class that showed up to help them evacuate a solar system with their transporters. All right, so I've got Thomas Riker opened. You can see the figure. You can see his relatively undamaged card back. You can see the more detailed. Notice how that explosion looks a bit more cartoony. This one looks more realistic. Still the same effect though, roughly. And you've got his base. So let's see if I can get the figure on the base here. There, I know, it's weird. His foot's still above, but there, and then you've got his little bag. His other bag, almost like the same duffel that Ro Laren used when she first came to the Enterprise. Tricorder and phaser. So, considering the size of these, let's see if I can use the smaller bag for it. Yeah, I might just be able to. But I'm actually going to use the bigger one because of the size of the accessory. That's why I have two different sizes. Here we go. Alright, so the bag, the phaser, the duffel bag, so the other one's probably an equipment bag, and his tricorder, which what I liked is that every iteration of the series had the equipment colored a different color. The phaser's the only one that was colored realistically. Alright, so there is Thomas Riker and his picture. So now we move on to the new 2022 Riker with this Season 3 and beyond uniform, and we'll compare him to the old one. So I'll be back with that. Alright, so here we are. Here's the Season 2022 Riker wearing the Season 3 and beyond uniform. You can see how all his tools, unlike the Playmates Riker, are actually colored a gray instead of a green. So they're more realistic looking. See how the phaser compares. And the back of the figure shows the other figures you get in the line, so Picard and Data. So eventually I might look for those figures as well. Okay, so I'll open it up and we'll go from there. Here's the empty, undamaged card back. Here is the new Riker figure. Let's compare him to the old Riker figure. So the old Riker figure actually is a lot more detailed a bit. Brighter eyes and everything. But the new one, it seems like the new one has a color of his uniform that's actually more accurate. This is more of a dark ruby red. This is more of the red it should be, especially in the remastered series. So that's a good improvement there. Now, let's see, does this, the case still opens? See? So you can see the peg. There you go. And you can probably still fit the pad into the case just like you could with the old one. See? There's the pad in the case. Excellent. Now, given the size of the accessories again, he's going to need the big bag. Here we go. So he's got the phaser. Now, the beam is not as bright as the old one. It's not as silver either. But it's pretty good. The mold looks really good. There's the tricorder. There's the engineering tool. Now the stand is different in two ways. The stand has it so that he can be on the stand And the hole is centered over his right foot. So put him on the stand. There you go, see? See, there you are. That's good. So I'll put all the accessories in the bags and we'll have the, and there's the other figure, so you can see the comparison. Oh, and he's standing upright. Good to get that picture. There you go. So I'll be back with the backdrop picture. There we go. So there's the Riker figure against his backdrop. There's the Thomas Riker figure against his backdrop picture. And the Season 2 Commander Riker figure against his backdrop. So we get the good group picture here. And now I'm going to put the card backs away and put each of the figures on the shelf because they should all fit on the lower level. So I'll be back with that. Flaw here, the figure on its base is a bit too big to fit. So we're going to see if I can fit it on the bottom shelf without the stand. He's too tall to fit on the bottom shelf without the stand, so it might have to be a bit of a hybrid between Star Trek and Star Wars figures on there. But I have a second shelf and he'll fit on the top, so I'll be back. So that is what we'll have to do for now for the picture and the video and the final of these 3 figures. We'll just have to leave them like that for the time being. But what I might as well do is bring out the other shelf of figures, put their accessory bags underneath them, and have a group shot. Here is the group shot of all the Star Trek figures I've opened so far. There we go. With their accessories underneath them, as you can tell. So that's the end of opening Star Trek Figures Part 2. And we'll see you here next week for whatever I choose to open next. Maybe we'll test the size of some of these Star Wars figures and see if they do fit on the lower levels of these shelves after all, even though it's a mixing of franchises. So, see you later. Bye-bye.